All right, let's make sure you guys remember how to do this crazy stuff. And then we have something else to go through today. So let's see. We got a little late start here, and we'll see how we do. All right, let's start with you, Aaron. I know it's been a little while. This was like 4 days ago. But if I'm going to divide this by this, what's my first step? Holding. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this term right here, yeah, divided by this term right here. And when I do that, what do I get? No, x squared divided by x is just plain old x because one of them cancels. So that's why Eli said you start by multiplying by x, okay? So if I go x times x plus 5, what do I get? X squared, x times x is x squared, x times 5 is 5x. I'm going to make it a negative 5x in a minute because my next step is to subtract, but I will pick on somebody else to help us through that. Carter, what happens now? Yes, I'm going to go negative 3x minus 5x. Those cancel. What's negative 3x minus 5x? I'm sorry, what? Negative 8x, okay. And then what do I do with 40? Drop it down. And then we, then we do that process otra vez. Max, what now? Good. Okay. Awesome. So our answer is x minus 8, which you guys knew already. Because if you take x squared minus 3x minus 40 and you factor it, you're saying what two things multiply together to be negative 40 and add to be negative 3? Those would be negative 8 and positive 5. So that means if I divide this by x plus 5, I get x minus 8 as an answer. Okay? Cat? Oh, okay. I thought you were giving me a... Oh, alright. Okay, I asked you guys to do through number 20. Alright, let's try another one. We won't do all of these, but I want to just kind of refresh your memory a little bit before we move on. Geminator. Now I got 3x squared plus 7x minus 20, and I'm going to divide that by x plus 4. So first thing I do is go first term here divided by first term there. So 3x squared divided by x is, I want to go the other way. The 3 stays as the 3. It's the x's that change. So it's going to be 3x. And then if you take this and distribute that to those two things, what do you get? Awesome possum. All right, what do we do from there? Really? What do we do from there? Eli. Okay, so these cancel. 7x minus 12x is negative what? Negative what? Negative 5x. Okay, and then I bring down this negative 20. Okay. And then Austin. I need to go the first term here divided by the first term here. So negative 5x divided by x is... What's negative 5x divided by x? The x's cancel. So it's just, yeah, negative 5. So I'm going to put that negative 5 there. What do I do from there? what do I do? What do I do with this negative 5 and this x plus 4? Yep. So what's negative 5 times x? Negative 5x. And what's negative 5 times 4? Negative 20. And so those two things are the same, so the remainder will be 0, and that's my answer. Okay? Does this kind of ring a bell? I know you were not here for this. Were you here for this? But do you know how to do this? Sort of a little bit, okay? It makes sense. All right, let's go till everybody has answered a question. That's what we'll do. All right, next one, x minus 1. We're dividing that into x cubed plus 3x squared minus x plus 2. Kate, get us started. Good. Then what? Okay. And remember I told you when we were first going through this, this is where most problems occur. Good. So that gives you 4x squared. Good. So what Kate did is x cubed minus x cubed is 0. Those cancel. But then 3x squared minus a negative x squared is 3x squared plus x squared. So that's 4x squared. And then I'm going to bring down the negative x, and I am going to play again. Cat. So if I take the first term here, which is 4x squared, and divide it by the first term here, what do you get? 4x. Good. So that goes here. Then what? Okay, which is 4x squared. Okay, and then this is minus 4x, and then what does that settle out to be? Like I said, this is the tricky part because you're going negative x minus negative 4x. So it's really negative x plus 4x. So it is 3x. Yeah. Right, not negative. Okay, bring down the 2. So that leaves me 3x plus 2. So one more time, Gabby, what do you get when you go, bless you, 3x divided by x? 3, good. And then what do you do with that? And what do you get when you do that? 3x minus 3, nope, you're right. And then these cancel, and then what's 2 minus, Gesundheit, what's 2 minus negative 3? 5. Okay, and then now since this does not have an x in it, but this thing does, that just shows up as our remainder. And then we're done. Okay? All right. Because you're a good student and a fine human being. Ty, what do I start with? But then this has a 2 also, so it's going to have to be 2x squared. Okay. Now multiply that back through, distribute it to the x and the minus 4. 2x cubed, because 2x squared times x is 2x cubed, minus 8x squared. Okay, nice job, Eli. I mean, Ty. Alright, then I have to subtract these, so 2x cubed cancels. If I go negative 3x squared minus negative 8x squared, I'm really going negative 3x squared plus 8x squared, so that would be, awesome, 5x squared. Alright, well, between the two of you at least, you got it figured out, so that's good. Joe? First term here, 5x squared divided by first term here, x, is what? 5x, yeah, because this x cancels one of those and makes it, instead of 5x squared, it just makes it plain old 5x, okay? Now I'm going to multiply these two things by that 5x, and when you do that, you get 5x times x, excuse me, 5x times x is 5x squared, because x times x is x squared. And then 5x times negative 4 is negative 20x. Okay? Alright, I'm going to pick on you for just one more time. 5x squared minus 5x squared cancels. Negative 18x minus negative 20x is really negative 18x plus 20x. What does that give me? 2x, yeah. I think if you guys took a group test, you'd do pretty well. We got Eli and Ty working together. We got Kate and Joe working together. Yeah. Because I have to assign individual grades. I can't just say at the end of the semester, my first period advanced algebra class gets a B+. I can't do that. Oh, and you're like, right, yeah, it's not going to work. All right, who came up there? Anthony? Anthony? What do I put up here next? What is 2x divided by x? Yeah, can you hear Eli? It's 2, yeah. 2x divided by x is 2, so I got plus 2 right there. Okay. Then I have to multiply these two things by 2. So 2 times x is 2x. And then 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. And since those are the same, it all cancels out. No remainder. This is just your answer. Do you have a message for tomorrow, Anthony, that you'd like to share with yourself when you're listening to this video? Like, hey, Anthony, glad you made it to another day. Live your life, dog. You do you. Something like that. Don't get head and shoulders in your eyes. All right. So remember that tomorrow. Okay, Maddie. All right. You got this. So we're going to go 3x cubed plus 9x squared plus 8x plus 4 divided by x plus 2. I'll have to figure out what 3x cubed divided by x is first. I'm going to do a smaller, simpler problem. So 3x cubed divided by x is 3x squared. Kate, don't play with your food. Now what? Well, so to find out what I'm going to subtract, I have to multiply this by those two things there first. Yeah. So 3x squared times x is 3x cubed, which is what we wanted. We want these to match, okay? And then 3x squared times 2 is 6x squared, okay? All right, so then these cancel. 9x squared minus 6x squared is 3x squared. Bring down the 8x and start all over again. Okay? Yes, it does. And you know it's true because she said does with 2 syllables. Okay, I got Gabby. Does that mean, did everybody answer a question? Yeah, because I know you've gone already, so I think that it doesn't double up until everybody's gone at least once. Okay, so this would be 3x, which would give me 3x squared plus 6x. Subtract those is 2x. Bring down the 4. That's a 2. 2x plus 4. And we're done. Okay? All right, the next part, no lie. One of my favorite things in math. And that's saying a lot. Yeah, this is awesome. Yeah, this is way better. But it only works some of the time, so you do have to kind of know long division in case you can't use this. But synthetic division is easier, way easier than long division. It's fast, and it's super useful for a lot of different things, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take x cubed minus 14 x cubed minus 14x squared plus 51x minus 54, and we're going to divide it by x plus 2. But instead of doing it in the long division way, we're going to do it in the synthetic division way. Okay? Are you ready? Can I give you a pencil, please? Yeah. All right, so here's how it goes. Okay? We are going to take, I'm going to put a little box right here, all right? And we'll talk about that in just a second. And then instead of writing out the whole x cubed minus 14x squared plus 51x minus 54, I'm just going to write out the numbers. I'm not going to write out all the variables. So it was 1x cubed, so I'm going to put a 1 right here, okay? It's negative 14x squared, so I'm going to put a negative 14 there. It's 51x, so I'm going to put a 51 next, and then it's negative 54, so I'm going to get a negative 54 there. Does that make sense? You see the similarities between the numbers that I have written and our original polynomial? Right, there's just no variables. It's just the coefficients in front of the variables, all right? Okay, now what goes in the box is what makes this equal to 0, which hopefully should make sense to you, because when we've used factoring to solve equations, what we've done is said if x minus 4 equals 0, then x equals 0. So we're sort of pretending that x plus 2 needs to equal 0, so x would have to equal negative 2. It's the opposite of that, all right? All right, and then here we go. Don't blink. It's like driving through Minnesota. It's like driving through Montesano. It happens fast. Just trust me. Okay, here we go. I bring down this first number right here. That's how I start. And then I multiply and then add, and multiply and then add, and multiply and then add until I am done. So bless you. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. I do not have to change the sign in this method. I'm adding them together. I'm not subtracting. Negative 14 plus negative 2 is negative 16. And then I do that again. Negative 2 times negative 16 is 32. Add these two things together and get 83. Okay? Then I multiply again. Negative 2 times 83 is negative 166. And if I add those together, then I get negative 220. Okay? So hidden in there is my answer. We're done. Okay? We started out with an x cubed. I don't know if you noticed, but every time we did these long division problems, if I started out with a cubed, the first term was squared because I was dividing. If I started out with a cube, the first term in my answer was squared. If I started out with a cube, the first term in my answer is squared. So that means since here I started out with a cube, the first term in my answer is going to be squared. So my answer is 1x squared minus 16x plus 83 with a remainder of negative 220. Okay? Way faster. Way easier. Okay? The only problem is, like I said, we can't always use this, but most of the time we can, yeah. Also, if I'm not going to be able to use this method, okay, I thought you were asking the question, how could I tell if that was a factor? That would be if this remainder is 0. The times that you can't use it is if you're dividing by something that's a higher power than just x. Like if you're dividing by an x squared or x to the third or something like that. Then you can't use it. So, okay? Easy peasy, right? Okay, now that you've seen it once, let's play again. Hopefully you'll understand what I'm doing. So it says use synthetic division to divide x cubed minus 57x plus 56 by x minus 7. All right, first of all, if I'm dividing by x minus 7, what goes in the box? 7, because it's always a number that will make the divisor 0. Okay, and then I just write down the coefficients. How many x cubes do I have? 1. Be careful. How many x squareds do I have? 0. And you need that 0. If I'm going to start at x cubed, then I have to go in order. So don't just skip ahead to the negative 57. I've got 1 x cubed. I've got no x squareds. How many x's do I have? Negative 57 of them. And then my last one is a 56. Okay. What do I do to start? Bring down the 1, and then I multiply and add and multiply and add and multiply and add until I'm done with the whole thing. So 7 times 1 is 7. 0 and 7 make 7. 7 times 7 is 49. Negative 57 and 49 make, holding, negative 8. And then 7 times negative 8 is negative 56, and if I add those together I get 0. So since I get 0 as an answer, that means that I have no remainder. So that means this thing is a factor of that, and it factors it into x squared, because this started as x cubed, plus 7x minus 8. All right? Do you love it, or is it your favorite thing that you've ever learned? Which one? You want to know what? Like, who figured that out? Yeah. I kind of like don't quite understand why it works. I one time was laying in bed trying to get to sleep, and I was sort of trying to think about it, and I sort of thought I had it, and then I fell asleep. So, I don't know. Yeah, probably. He thought about it when he was asleep and then woke up. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was a she. Good call, yeah. I don't know who invented synthetic division. Okay, there's one more thing that you can do with synthetic division, which we will do together. You don't have to do it this way, and to be honest, most students forget that this is a thing, and so we rarely use synthetic division for this. But watch what happens here. If I take x cubed minus 57x plus 56, and I plug in 7 for x, watch what I get. Are you ready? So I'm going to go 7 cubed minus 57 times 7 plus 56, right? Who's got a calculator available in front of them? I choose you, Gabby. Pikachu, I choose you. Hi, Elena. What is 7 cubed, Gabby? 343. Okay. And then what is negative 57 times 7? Okay, negative 399 plus 56. If I add all those together, what did you get, Eli? 0, which is the same thing as we got as our last answer, okay? Guess what I would get if I plugged -2 into this thing right here? Yeah, probably, definitely -220, okay? So it turns out that the remainder that you end up with when you use synthetic division is the same thing that you would get if you just plugged that number in directly, okay? And that's called the remainder theorem. So if I give you that polynomial right there, x to the 5th minus 2x cubed minus x squared plus 3, and I ask you, what do you get when you plug in 3? Most of you guys will just on your calculator go 3 to the 5th minus 2 times, well, most of you will just ignore me. But those of you that like want to actually figure out the answer will go 3 to the 5th minus 2 times 3 cubed minus 3 squared plus 3 and get the answer that way. But what the, plus 2, but what the remainder theorem tells you is that if I just do this instead, then I can figure out that answer without using a calculator very quickly by using synthetic division, because whatever that remainder is, that's what you would get if you just plugged in 3 to the original polynomial, okay? Which is, you know, slightly faster and slightly easier to do, but like I said, most students forget this part of synthetic division and just do the other thing, okay? But something, just something to be aware of. So you can answer these questions either way. You can answer them the old-fashioned way if you want, or you can do it with synthetic division. Okay, hold on a second. This is not quiz tomorrow. This is quiz Thursday. This is also, you guys did 9 through 20 already, right? So we'll start at 21, and we will do every third, not all of them. Okay? Okay, Kate, away with you.